Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. I got a cool story for you. Woo! I love it when this happens. I love it. Love, 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 love it. All right. I was driving back with a friend of mine from the Tennessee mountains. It is exactly a 3-hour drive. No way of getting around it. You could hit the fastest route and it would take maybe 2 hours and 55 minutes because of the mountains and everything. Even in good traffic. In poor traffic, it's over 3 hours. I've done it many, many times. On the way back from this mountain retreat, we stopped and got gas. We then stopped about a half hour later trying to find ice cream. My friend had to have ice cream, so we were trying to find ice cream. So there was about 10, 15 minutes and then another 10 and 15 minutes and about a half hour. When we got on the road and looked at the time and we said, Chattanooga's coming up, we both looked at each other and said, that's impossible. That's impossible. We can't be in Chattanooga yet. We just got on the road. That means we got to Chattanooga in about a half hour. And that's impossible. We can't possibly have made this trip in 2 hours. And then we went, oh, there's the time difference. Guess what? The time jumped ahead, not behind. Right? We were going into Eastern time from Central. So it actually was the opposite. Now, if we'd been going up to Tennessee, we'd have gained an hour. We actually were supposed to lose an hour. So it appears that we had a 4-hour trip when we only had a 3-hour trip, right? We did 3 hours of drive time, but the clock says that we got there 4 hours later. We lose an hour because of the time difference. We gained an hour. We got there in 2 hours. So we gained the hour of time, but the actual drive time came down to 2 hours. We cannot figure this out. We cannot figure this out. I don't know what's going on, but we sat there and we looked at that clock and said, wait a minute, that clock's an hour ahead. And we looked at each other and said, this is impossible. How can we be in Chattanooga? We've been on the road for a half hour and we stopped twice. This is mystifying us. We keep talking about this because we can't get over it. So we left at 1 o'clock. We got here at 4. That's 3 hours. We lost an hour in time. We had 2 hours drive time. I can't figure this out. Reality shift. All right. Part 2. We go up there again. This was just last weekend. Actually, just a few days ago, I just got back. And we got on the road, and we both at the same time looked at the clock, and it was 11:11. We then got on the road, and there was this big sign, and it said 2222. Huge sign. And we both looked at it at the same time, and there was rolling numbers of some kind. I can't remember what it was. But we weren't, it was like something that wasn't there stationary all the time. Then we were going down the road, and 3333 showed up. Actually, it was, wait a minute, 3:33 on the clock, and the exit was 3:33. Or was it 2:22 and 2:22? No, it was 2:22. The time was 2:22, and the exit was 2:22, because I'm thinking the time, 11, 12, 1, 2, yeah, so it was 3 hours. We also saw 3:33. So we saw 1:11 on the clock. We got on exit 2:22 at exactly 2:22. And then we went and saw this big number on the sign, so 3 333 or 3333. This kept going on. It was 444. I said, what? It's like 1 in a million chances. I know I'm confusing a little bit. I'll have to ask exactly which one. But we kept seeing consecutive numbers. And especially the 222 at exactly 222. What are the chances of you getting on exit 222 at 222? And we both happened to randomly look at the clock just to see what time we were getting on that exit. I don't know, but that was on the way back. There's a vortex or something in some area around there, and we were told there actually is. So, so I'm going to be watching a meteorite shower in the mountains next month. Let's see what happens. This should be really mystical and interesting, but are you guys experiencing that? All right. So I'm going to talk to you about numbers in the next video because I just want you to sort of wrap your head around the fact that there's some very strange things going on and signs are all around you and reality shifts are happening and all kinds of things that are unexplainable that are way too numerous for you to ignore. We don't always know what they mean. Now, I am not a numerologist. I don't know anything about numbers. I do know 111 is or 1111 is an angelic, mystical, wonderful number. That's one of the best ones you can see. I'm going to do a video about that next because I did look it up in the internet and I know everybody has a different explanation, but here's one that you can start with. So we'll talk about number signs on the next one, but share your reality shift stories. Share your major sign stories with me. Are you seeing like butterflies and then an angel shows up and then another butterfly shows up and then a butterfly lands on your head and then all these crazy things like consistent things that are happening? We're here. Hello. Signs. Stuff's going on. We're shifting. You're going into different dimensions. You're experiencing stuff that makes no sense. All of the ringing in the ears, the physical stuff you guys are experiencing, this is what it is. So that reality shift, tell the stories because I know you guys are experiencing this. Remember the pen story? I shared a pen story with you. I've been missing a pen for months. It's my favorite pen. There's no way it left the house because I never take my best pens out of the house because I know I'll lose them. I ripped my purses apart, my desk apart for months. I did it constantly. I was constantly looking for the pen. I always place my pens, okay, this is a little anal, but I have 2 computers like this, and I always place the pens like this. They're like sandwich here. They can't roll or anything. One day, I was thinking, where is that pen? I know it's going to show up. I walked to my desk. The pen is sitting there between the computers. Not like it rolled down from somewhere. I ripped that desk apart numerous times anyways. The pen was sitting there. I stood and stared at it, and I could not believe it. To this day, it's mind-blowing. The missing pen showed up. In a reality, it never was missing. I swear to you, I stripped that desk numerous times for months, and everything around it to find the pen. And I walked up and found the pen. I happened to have thought about the pen too. Where's my pen? It's got to show up. I was thinking it has to show up. Boom. Sitting right there. Share your stories. I love this stuff. It's exciting. It's not scary. It's cool. We're reality shifting. That means we're going in and out. You know what that means? You can shift into whatever you want. If you want to shift into that reality that's freaking awesome, do it. You have to be there. You have to envision it. You have to know it. Time, something shows up, you find yourself in a situation, you're going, wait a minute, what happened? Tell the stories, guys. I'll believe you. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Stay tuned for the next video, number signs and what do they mean. Namaste.